response to the large-scale advancements in machine technologies, architects of the early 20th century have propelled the architecture's discourse through an extremely transformative era, exploring ideas and methodologies for incorporating environmental mechanics with the existing rules of architectural construction, to accommodating their aesthetic ideals with the engineered form of building technologies, as they were perceived as cold, robust, and everything opposite to what formerly offers comfort and intimacy for a human being. In the chapter Concealed Power of his book, The Architecture of Well-Tempered Environment, Rainer Banham recognized two major streams of ideas leading towards machines' concealment, one of which can be seen most clearly in the practices of Berlin and California architects, where they incorporate the machines in accordance with the basic formal rule of construction. It was through a careful and intricate process of customization that machines were finally allowed to be exposed in a living space and physically touched by the inhabitants they are serving. In the other stream of approach, however, concealments were achieved solely by hiding mechanical objects with uniform suspended membranes, forming yet another layer of envelope that enfolds the interior volume of the building. In this case, the integration of machines had resulted in quite a divided relationship between space, structure, and machineries, which are separately manifested, serving different purposes, and are loosely attached to each other as opposed to forming a coherent architectural whole. Moving forward to present-day practices, the notion of machine concealment has since proceeded to serve as a key element in the architecture profession as it develops. Over the years, however, with the manufacturing process of architecture being increasingly industrialized, the delicate approach in pursuing personalized machines were proved to be overly cumbersome in comparison with the pre-manufactured, inexpensive, ready-to-use products. What remains to be reminiscent of that sense of craftsmanship in contemporary buildings is the customized shading device, serving not only as a responsive system for daylighting control, but also a dynamic envelope fulfilling the stylistic demand of the architects. Most contemporary architects had gravitated towards the existing formula of manifesting direct concealment, and rather than resolving the fragmented relationship between space, structure, and machineries, the majority of them moved on with reinforcing that contradiction in their own architectural practices. The concept of suspended concealment has evolved and expanded into an all-around system of interior envelope, which inherits the ability to in itself formulate a coherent spatial environment. In Zaha Hadid's design for the first floor Puerto Madrid Hotel, it breaks away from the robust construction of the building structure and instead features continuous walls, furniture, and fittings molded from solid surface material, with her signature swooping shapes creating the impression of being inside a cave. In Kengo Kuma's architectural practices, unfinished wood pieces were often delicately situated over the ceiling structures. This has helped realize the architecture's ideal of a soft and warm interior environment juxtaposed upon the steel and concrete construction and the underlying mechanical services. Meanwhile, practitioners in the industry have gradually come to appreciate the physical forms of the mechanics both for their sculptural expressiveness and for their cultural implications. The industrial style categorized this sense of aesthetic where the designer strategically removed the suspended screen within the standardized structure to expose the cluttered machines at the ceiling, which were originally meant to be conveniently concealed. However, the unveiling of the concealment still rarely happens in cases of design schemes, initiating comfort and intimacy. The inhabitable spaces of architecture are still dominantly sculpted with non-mechanical objects, with the building machines remain segregated from the inhabitants' direct contact.